Hey Sam, how's it going?
How you doing, Scott?
I'm well. Hey everybody, welcome to another recording or episode of Old Men Running. And this is our 10th recording that Sam and I are performing this endeavor. I don't know what you call it. So this is just, we do this because we love running and we just want to give back to you guys and just kind of share our experiences. So, if you have any feedback for us, we'd be happy to take that on. If you know anybody who wants to be a guest, which we had an awesome guest last week.
Yes, we did.
So if you haven't heard, and if you're just listening to the first time, last week or the last episode, episode number 9, we had the Seth Demore from YouTube, and he shared some wisdom with us about his channel and his racing experience, and then he also talked about his future and the future of his channel. And it was interesting to hear his perspective on the running community and running shoe reviews that he does quite well. So I think Sam and I both learned a bunch from talking to.
Yeah, I definitely did. He's definitely somebody I would check out on YouTube for his videos. They're really good.
Yep. Yeah, he's awesome. So enough about Seth. We talked about him last time. This time we want to talk about you guys and hear from you. We don't have any callers on the line yet. We're thinking of opening up a line so you can chat us in real time and at some point join our podcast for a question. We just have to figure out how to do that in the technology, and we'll stay tuned on that. But in the meantime, Sam and I are going to be the ones just asking the questions to each other. As you guys know, a year has passed. We're in 2024. This is January 5th on the day of this recording. So I hope you all had a happy new year. We had a happy new year. Everything is happy and healthy. Sam, how about you guys? Did you have a good year?
Yeah, we're good. We're all good.
Yeah. And the weather's been good down there in Florida for you? Rainy a bit, right?
It's not perfect, but yeah, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unseasonably warm here for New Year's. There was a midnight run in Manhattan, and I understand there was a midnight 5K at Central Park, and it was 45 degrees at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Nice weather for that.
That was pretty awesome. It's getting a little bit colder, so we are now starting to put on hats and gloves and digging out the run pants and the run jackets up here in the Northeast, but we're still getting out there. There's no snow on the ground yet. They keep telling us there might be some snow coming soon, but that won't affect my immediate plans to get the workouts in. Sam, how's your training going?
It's going good. I just came out of my maintenance phase. I do have a race on the 3rd of February. I have the Double Bridge Run, and then I'll be going to the Rock and Roll in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's in February.
Yeah, very exciting.
And I signed up a couple days ago for the Detroit Marathon.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. When is that?
That will be in October. I do have to have my passport because it does go into Windsor, Canada, and then back into Detroit.
No kidding.
Yes.
So you have to show your passport.
Yes, we do. And they also will inspect, in the email I got, they can stop you and look at your gels and water and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, you have to put that into your taper plan, I guess. You might have to
yeah.
It down. All right. Well, I hope they don't stop you.
Yeah, I'll find out.
That's interesting. So you're doing a two-country run, in a sense.
Yes. It goes into Canada for a bit and then back into Detroit.
Very exciting.
And that's my hometown, so I'm kind of looking forward to running to my hometown.
Awesome. Yeah. So it is the season now where we start looking at and filling out our race cards for the new year. And I've done that as well. So I registered for a couple of races. One, I guess, a little 15K tune-up. And yesterday I received an email from the New York Roadrunners that I am on the waiting list to possibly run the New York City Half Marathon in March.
Nice.
So I applied for the lottery. I didn't get in, but then there was a second lottery, and I'm on the waiting list for that. So if enough people, I guess, cancel or don't pay, or once they figure out how much room they have, then they're going to open up this waiting list, and I might be in the New York Half.
Oh, well, that'd be awesome.
which would be
Uh,
pretty awesome to run the New York Marathon and then the New York Half Marathon in the, well, not the same year, but back to back.
that would be.
So,
I'm going to be signing up for the CIM in February.
okay. So you're going to do CIM in December. I'm on the fence about it, but I probably will do it again for the third year. I just love that race.
I got to ask, have you signed up for the Whitefish, Montana one yet?
As you know, I'm sponsored or sort of sponsored by Hammer Nutrition. Shout out to Hammer
Right.
Nutrition, and they are the title sponsor for that race. So I requested a sponsor's registration for that. If that comes through, then I'm going to be running with them. Through the charity, not the charity bid, but through a sponsor's bid. If not, I will register on my own.
Okay.
And I'm waiting.
Well, me and Scott will be running that one together.
Yeah, so I'm running it. I just haven't. I didn't buy my registration yet because I don't know if I'm going to be given one, which would be nice. But if not,
Right.
I will. I'd rather use that money and make a donation instead of just giving it to the whole thing to the
Oh, absolutely.
organization. So I'll give that money back in some way. Probably give it to Hammer and buy gels. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for that. And the only other race I did sign up for, I'm running a half marathon in Asbury Park in April, and that'll be a tune-up race for my spring marathon, and that's the beginning of April. So 2 half marathons possibly this spring, and 1
Okay.
marathon. So that's my race card. After Labor Day, or after Memorial Day, we really don't have too many races here in the Northeast. It just gets too hot.
Right.
So there aren't too many races after the month of May. But there could be a couple of small little races, like 5K races or just tune-up races. I'll be doing some time trials just as part of my training. So I'm taking a very formal training plan for going into the spring marathon, sponsored by Koros. So Koros Coaches has a spring marathon training camp, and I was accepted into that just yesterday. So I will have a Koros coach guide me, as well as Coach Bertrand guide me, and myself, and you. So I'm surrounded by coaches. I can't look around without seeing a coach.
That's a good thing, though.
It's a good thing. So lots of people want to coach, and I think it's awesome. Sam and I are both coaches. I think you guys know that online. Sam and I are both interested in new athletes who want to come under our tutelage. We have a lot of experience. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking about a coach, if you're in the South and you want some personal attention, reach out to Sam. If you're in the North part of the United States, you can reach out to me, and or any way you like it. So you can send an email to oldmenrunning@gmail.com and send us your information.
Absolutely.
So in order to do races, you need some goals, right? And those are not just the goal is to finish the race. Some people say, all right, my goal is to meet that finish line. Other people, or serious runners like ourselves, we want to finish a race at a specific time, right? We want to either beat the last time we did that race, or depending on the time of the year, we might just want to say, okay, I want to run a 10K in under 50 minutes, or I want to run a half marathon in under 2 hours. Do you put together goals to achieve those times, or do you put together goals in another way?
I do want to do, I'm looking at doing under a 150 in Vegas in February for the half marathon they're having for the rock and roll. And the other races like Whitefish, Montana, and the other marathon, Detroit Marathon, I honestly, for once in my life, I want to go out and have fun.
Okay.
I want to enjoy it and not pressure myself.
Yeah.
So when my time finished, especially in Montana, because I know there's a lot of elevation that Coach Scott has told me about. I did live in Montana for almost 30 years, so I know there's elevation. But I honestly want to go out and have fun and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's important.
That's one of my goals for 2024 is some of the races, I just want to go out and have fun.
Right. So finish time doesn't necessarily matter.
Right.
Cross the line. You want to cross the line with a smile, and that's essentially what I did at CIM. The time wasn't as important, although I did have like a stretch goal, but um, my A goal was to just finish the race running and not have to
Absolutely.
and smile, and it was awesome. So I I know I did well in CIM because the next day I felt fine. I took one day off before I started running again. So
Right. You
um,
look good too.
thank you. Yeah, it was great. Of course, we had a lot of extended family out there with the people from Too Legit and the West Coast crew. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, definitely finish with a smile is a nice goal to have in a race. You don't necessarily have to run at a specific time. Now, if you're a younger runner, you're probably thinking about that's more important. But as you know, when you guys get up there in age, you've already proven yourself. There's nothing that you need to prove to anybody other than yourself. And the most important thing is that you're safe, you don't get injured, so that you can do this again. If you're
Right.
listening to this, you probably love running, and you don't want to do anything to get in the way of being able to do that. So hurting yourself by doing 800-meter repeats on the track and trying to time that so that you can run a sub 6 mile, it, it, it's probably not worth it if it's going to damage your body. So you're in it for the long haul. At this point now, we just want to be able to keep running really
Especially,
fast.
at our age, you just want to kind of keep it cool. And if you look at the stats, there's only 2% of the population of the world that can actually complete a marathon.
Right.
So by you completing it, you're in the top 2% of the population of the world.
Yep. That's true.
So that's right there is a goal. I mean,
Yep.
you did it.
Yeah.
Even if it's 6 hours or sub 2 or whatever, or sub 3, you're good.
Yeah. Absolutely, guys. So other goals, just goals in general. People will say these are my goals, and goals are not necessarily only finish a race at a certain time. Right? There could be the workouts. I want to complete a number of workouts, or I want to run different distances. I want to be able to run 5 days a week. That could be a goal. It
Right.
doesn't necessarily have to be a race. I want to be able to, run at before the sun gets up, so that I come out early. So all of these goals are just things that you want to do that help you accomplish your training goals or your running goals. But I just wanted to go over a couple of things and Sam, ask you these questions. So when you're setting your goals, or as we set goals, it's very important to be very specific about what that goal is. So you want to be able to define precisely what it is you want to achieve. Because ambiguous goals just make it harder to measure and harder to measure if there's any progress.
Right.
So, being specific about I want to run 5 days a week is a goal, as opposed to I want to run a few days this week. Like you can't, a few days this week. How do you say I did that? Right? You could just say, okay,
Right.
I ran three
It's got to be
days.
more specific.
Yeah. So when you're setting your goals, be as specific as you can so that it can be achievable and measurable. And speaking of measurable, it's also important to choose goals that can be measured. So is that a distance or time? A lot of people are focusing their races or their running based on time, not necessarily distance. I want to go out and run 60 minutes. If you run 50 minutes and you turn around, then you did not achieve that goal.
Right.
So you have a couple of options when you're running. You can either choose a distance goal or you can choose a time goal. So pay attention to that when you're setting your workout goals.
And when you do that, make it a realistic for yourself goal.
Absolutely, the goals need to be realistic, right? If you've never run for 2 hours on a long run, don't say that you want to run 3 hours on a long run.
Right.
Build up to it. The best way to do that is have sub goals. So
Exactly.
the first goal will be I want to run an hour without walking, or I want to just run an hour. After you've achieved that, then you can say set a new goal as part of that goal to run 2 hours. So
Yeah, it's a progression.
mhm.
You know, that time, and then you can with yourself get a little bit more specific. I want to do this in this time, but not until you achieve your primary goal. And like Scott was saying, sub goals, and I always have A, B, and C. I have my minimum goal and I have my maximum goal. So if I fall in between A and C, I'm still good. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll have 3 goals for every run.
Excellent.
And at least if I get C, I'm still good. But if I get A or B, that's even better.
Yep, that's another part of goals. Goals are not meant to, pass fail. I mean,
Right.
certainly you want to have a goal that says I'm going to do it or not, but it's good to have multiple goals for the same workout, as you said, Sam. So maybe I do have a goal of running 6 miles or a 10K, 6 miles in under 50 minutes. If you do it in 55 minutes, that could be your secondary goal to finish.
Right.
Right? Your third goal could be to run the entire distance without taking any walk breaks, or no more than N number of walk breaks.
Right.
That way, when the effort is completed, you don't feel like you failed because you didn't do it in sub 50.
And if you only put an A goal, I want to do it in this time, and you come in 30 seconds after that time, psychologically you failed.
Right.
So you got to set sub goals for it. So you psychologically you always make it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do love sub goals. Certainly,
You got to have them.
you don't
Gotta have them.
Don't get down on yourself if you're not completing your A goal all the time.
Because a lot of people will, I'm not doing it anymore because I didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah.
And they stop.
So,
So you are setting yourself up for failure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's just my take on it.
No, you got it, Sam. So another way to monitor this is to just record and monitor your progress. So after a run, you want to be able to record. I did this run, and we'll stick to the 10K goal. I did it in 54 minutes this time. And write down the date. And you don't need to review that every single time you run, but this way you'll have a log, and you'll be able to know when you've achieved a certain goal.
Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely.
So monitoring your progress is an important part of goal setting and goal measurement. So review that progress periodically, either with yourself or better yet, get a run coach. The run coach will be able to provide feedback and help
Absolutely.
you build plans and workouts that will help you achieve your goals. That's what we do as coaches. Also, set a time frame around your goal. So a goal could be for the year. It could be I want to do this in the next 3 months. Long-term goals should be meaningful to you, but you might want to just create short-term goals, which could be those sub-goals, or maybe something that you want to achieve quickly, such as you might have a half marathon in 3 months. So your short-term goal is to be able to run 10 miles without stopping before that marathon happens.
Absolutely correct.
The time of achieving those goals should occur.
Absolutely.
And then stay motivated. So
Yes.
it's important that as you're tackling these goals and maybe not achieving them, look at the positives of the sub goals that you've completed, and that will motivate you to give you the challenge to go out there again and achieve those goals.
Right. I just when I did we had a 37.6 mile relay. One of my athletes that I have that he's trusted me. He ran the entire thing. He ran 37.6 miles, and his 5 hours and I think 20 minutes. He ran his net pace was 9:21 for 37 miles. And I was like really impressed. So, but he trusted me to build out the calendar for him and work with him and stuff like that. But I was like blown away because there's not many people that did the entire thing, the entire ultra, I guess you call it. But he did it.
That is an ultra.
And he wasn't the fastest because we had some older folks, late 40s and stuff that did it in under 5 hours. So So I was impressed.
Yeah, that is impressive. Yep. I don't know if I could. I'd like to be able to do an ultra.
I told him I could drive it.
Yeah, I can bike it.
I could drive it. Someday, I don't know, someday.
I would like to one day do. I think I could do a 50K.
That is my goal in 2024 at some point, is to do the 50K.
Yeah, it says a little longer than a marathon, but you don't have to finish it at a certain. That's one where you really don't have.
Right.
Right. The idea is to just be breathing when you cross the
right.
Right. That is the a goal of ultra racing, ultra marathons. At least in my stage of my running career, would be to just finish.
I was really impressed with the age group that came through that ran the entire ultra, and the one lady was probably in her late 50s, and she did it in I think 4:37.
Yeah,
and that was 37 miles.
Yeah, that's amazing. So maybe there's a 50K in the cards.
Yeah,
but that would be an ultimate goal, right? To get to that, maybe I want to run. Before I run 50K, I want to do a 30K and a 40K. Now I've already done those because a marathon is more than 40K,
right.
So I could do that. So it's just a little bit more.
Well, just slow that pace down to even slower, and I'm sure you could do it.
Yeah, you just got to find the right environment.
Yes, and that's the hard thing. Even training for one, it's like getting the mileage in. That's difficult.
Yeah. Your short runs are 10 miles.
Yes.
And your long runs are, your middle runs are going to be 10 to 12 miles, and then your long run's going to be between 15 and 20 every week. Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. After the episode, I'll send you what I got from his final search. You can look at it real quick.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I want to just wrap up the goal setting session. Two more things that are important is to be flexible. So it's okay to change goals even though you've written them down. If something is not important to you, or if you don't think you're going to achieve it, then don't keep it on the list. It's only going to kind of bring you down. And so be flexible and adapt if necessary.
And always remember that family and work takes priority. So squeeze it in when you can.
Yeah. And the last comment I'm going to have, and Sam and I are good at this, is acknowledge your achievements. So celebrate, right? Perhaps you say to yourself, and I do this quite often, at least on workouts, hey, when I finish this run, I'm going to make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that's my motivation to get the workout.
Hell yes.
But even more than that, maybe you say, hey, if I finish this marathon, I'm going to buy those new pair of shoes that I've been wanting to get. I will have deserved them. And you will be deserving if you've accomplished your goal. So sometimes buying yourself something or just going out for a nice meal.
There you go, Scott. That's well said. Well said. Yeah.
Celebrate.
Absolutely.
Celebrate. So, yeah. Speaking of presents, what'd you get for Christmas? Did you get
I got my Alpha Fly, a brand new pair of Alpha Fly 3s. I just got to about 2 hours ago. It got delivered.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect.
And that was for my wife.
I didn't get any, and because my wife could be listening, I didn't get any shoes.
Really? I'll have a word with her.
I said, because she might be listening.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I didn't get any shoes that I paid for. So probably the last time we spoke, I did pick up the Nova.
Right. Have you used those yet?
Yeah.
They feel good?
I'll talk a little bit of shoes. Yeah, I'm enjoying that shoe. I think it's a little bit better than the 3. I like the upper. The upper is a little bit more comfortable. The foam is a little firmer. So I don't mind that. It still has a lot of stack and a lot of foam, but it's a little firmer. So it's a good daily shoe. Certainly could pick up the pace in it because it's not too heavy. So I imagine that I will be running a lot of miles in the.
Well, good deal.
Fours.
If you get me any brakes on where you work, let me know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I'm looking. I can't. My local running store doesn't have those.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get you a pair so that we can.
Yeah, definitely.
On those. Yeah. So the fours are pretty good. The Adidas Supernova, I think I received. I might have received that after, since our last recording. So the Adidas Supernova Rise is a pretty good shoe too. Still breaking it in, and I'm not sure where it's going to fit into my rotation. Just maybe once in a while on a daily run, if I'm just going to go, short mid distance, I might take it out. It's not as stacked as some of the other shoes, but it's got some interesting characteristics of that shoe as well.
The picture you sent me, they look really good.
Yeah. That's a good new shoe. I mean, those are the two new shoes that I received from my association with my employer, and but those are the only shoes that I have. I'm looking over. The reason why I'm doing this is I'm looking at my shoes and seeing if there's anything that stands out new. And those are the two newest. Yeah. I did pick up some clothes. I got a nice pair of New Balance dry heat tights for the cold weather. And I wore those today. They're super comfortable, really light, easy to put on and take off, which is important. And warm weather tights is something that I needed to acquire.
I did just today. I bought the distance half tights from Wallaco. The ones that you can store the gels in the back. Yeah. So I got those. I just ordered them today. I really like the Wallacos. So this one you don't have to wear the gel belt, which I do wear. You can store the gels in the back where it zips, and I'm going to try it out.
Yeah. Wallaco
they're excellent.
Great. I love all of their stuff. I have shirts of theirs and pants, and we both have the Wallaco.
Yes, we do. We got the Fultons. I'm getting this. I'll get it next week. New pair of them because I like the cargo pockets they got in the back for gels.
Yeah. I have the distance half tight. I don't know if I have the distance tight.
This is I think that. Hold up, I'll look at it real quick. It's half tights actually.
Okay.
The 10-inch.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yep.
But it does have the storage, two-side sweat-proof pockets, and gel storage in the back.
Yeah. I ran CIM in the distance.
Did you?
Yeah. Yes.
And you did well, so they must be good.
Yeah, they're super comfortable and stylish, and they fit well, and the material is.
So Scott has turned me on to a lot of really, really good equipment, pants, tights, and stuff like that. So we feed each other on this stuff, and
I'll say sorry.
Hey, that's coming out of my paycheck, not hers.
Okay. All right. So that's awesome. So we can cut this short, or just finish it up now, so people can consume it all at once.
Okay.
You have anything going on for the rest of the week?
I do have. I'm going to do the Northwest Florida Track Club. I'm going to help set up and mark the course for a 5K they have tomorrow. Won't be participating in it. I'll be there to set up water stations and that kind of stuff.
Good for you. You're a super volunteer. I am impressed with the fact that you get up early to help other runners.
Absolutely.
Perform. And I did volunteer a few weeks ago at a 5K, and it felt really.
It does.
Another one of my goals is to. Right now, one of my goals is to at least volunteer 3 times for 3 different races in 2024. I haven't decided which ones, but I want to volunteer for 3 races.
Well, that's awesome, Scott.
So your goals don't necessarily have to be tied specifically to your racing. They could be to help.
Right, else. And I'm pretty involved with the Northwest Florida Track Club up here. So
that's great. Yeah. All right, so we're going to leave you guys with that. Thanks for listening to another episode. We'll catch you again in a couple of weeks. You know how to find us. You can drop us a line either on Instagram or email. And we hope you have good running.
You too, Scott. Good talking to you again.
Okay.
Stay warm up there.
Stay dry down there.
Okay.
Okay, bye everybody.